Bad. It's our second day of Governor's Week, and today's guest leads a state with an unemployment rate that is enviable. It's half the national average. Joining us now in a Fox Business exclusive from Lincoln, Nebraska, is Republican Governor Dave Heineman. Hi, Dave. Thank you for coming back on.
Good afternoon, Liz. It's sunny, 75, and beautiful here.
No way. 75 in Nebraska?
75. You and I should be out on the golf course today.
Yeah, with the Cornhuskers. You bet. Well, how are you doing this? And seriously, as we look forward, you and I have spoken before where you say that Nebraska does tend to lag when it comes to something like a recession, so you could get hit a little bit late on the unemployment front, could you not?
That's possible, but what we're trying to do right now is focus on job creation. Just this morning, I met with a group of investors about expanding solar energy in our state, the expansion of solar power. We have insurance companies and banks who are still hiring people. Now, don't get me wrong, we have people who are losing their job, reduction in hours, but we're still half the national average when it comes to unemployment, and we have a very positive attitude, and I think that makes a world of difference.
Now, your state has a balanced budget, which is a pretty nifty trick, especially when you look at other states like, well, Michigan. We had yesterday Governor Granholm having a very difficult time for obvious reasons, but there are many other states that actually should have been a lot more strict with their spending, and they didn't. Now they've got budget crises, but you don't. How does that affect, Governor, the use of stimulus funds that are coming your way?
Well, first of all, I want to say we made some tough budget decisions 2 years ago that put us in position today that we can weather this coming fiscal storm. Secondly, we're trying to be strategic with the use of stimulus funding. Our first priority is to take the infrastructure funding for roads, wastewater, drinking water projects, and use that first because that creates jobs. In fact, tomorrow morning probably, we'll announce the first roads infrastructure funding projects totaling about $30 million. Secondly, we're going to take the education funding and assist our state aid education. And so, again, we're trying to be strategic, fill some holes, prepare for the future. We want to accelerate our growth whenever we come out of this economic slowdown.
Obviously, you've got a lot of farmers in that state who care deeply about incentives and real help from the government for farming, but you've got, for example, a surplus of beans. Now, many big states are probably saying, Liz, what are you talking about a surplus of beans for? But you may have to go to the government for some help here, and you tell me why I, as a taxpayer, should help Nebraska right now when you guys have too many beans, and there are other states that are desperate just to cling to a decent unemployment rate that is way higher than yours.
Well, Liz, that's a fair question, but what we have is an unusual situation where we have no market for great northern beans right now because of what occurred last year, partly in the market, partly with the drop in the dollar and some foreign activities. So we've asked the Secretary of Agriculture to use his Section 32 authority to purchase some of those funds for food nutrition programs. So it would go for a good cause, potentially into our school systems, but they do a financial analysis. Does it make sense? If it does, then they'll look upon it favorably. If it doesn't, they won't, and that's all we ask.
I want to tell people something they may not know about you, Governor. You're a graduate of West Point. You trained at the end. We talked about this with the Army Rangers. What did you learn about that kind of discipline that helped you? I'm suspecting it had to have somehow helped you 2 years ago when you turned around and said, maybe we see some dark clouds on the horizon. We better get a war chest together so we don't get sucked into this thing.
Well, you're exactly right. I'm very proud of the fact I had the opportunity to go to the United States Military Academy there in West Point, New York. An extraordinary education, the leadership training, discipline, organization, teamwork, all of that comes into play. And it also teaches you that you can do more than you think. And if you provide leadership, you're persuasive in what you're talking about, you're passionate, you can make a difference. And I think the legislature listened to us, the people of Nebraska feel comfortable that we should be fiscally responsible, don't spend more than we have coming in. And those are the kinds of attitudes that really make it easier for us to move forward with a balanced budget, with tightening our belts right now as we know we head into this coming fiscal storm.
As we finish this up, I have to throw this to you because it's what everybody here is talking about, but these AIG bonuses that everybody is so hot and bothered about, now we're hearing that many of them, millions of dollars worth, have gone to employees who don't even work there anymore. Out there in Nebraska, what do they think of something like that?
My citizens think it's totally inappropriate. What they would tell you, if you're working hard, you're creating jobs, you're making a profit, you're entitled to a bonus. This is an entirely different situation where they're using our taxpayer funds, losing jobs, not doing a very good job, and to receive a bonus under those circumstances, I will tell you, people are angry and upset, and I agree with them. They have every right to feel that way.
Governor Heineman, thank you very much for joining us during Governor Week. We're only picking 5 or 6 of you, and you were one of them. You've got a good story to tell. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz.